Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and beyond. This week, the President honored Veterans Day, met with the press, and headed out on his final overseas trip. That's November 11th to November 17th, or Our Place in the World.
It's also important for us to understand ourselves and our place in the world.
On Friday, the President laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns and paid tribute to our nation's veterans, service members, and their families at Arlington National Cemetery.
Today, on Veterans Day, we honor those who honored our country with its highest form of service. You who once wore the uniform of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. We owe you our thanks. We owe you our respect. And we owe you our freedom.
On Monday, after dropping in on the press to take some questions, he jumped on Air Force One to travel to Athens, Greece, his first visit to the country, and the first arrival of the U.S. president since President Clinton. On Tuesday in Greece, he got a lot of official business done, first with President Pavlopoulos, and then with Prime Minister Tsipras. On Wednesday, the president made his way to the ancient Acropolis, touring the Parthenon and the other spectacular sights found there in the birthplace of democracy. To get more of the story, the president steeped himself in ancient history as he toured the Acropolis Museum nearby. After looking back, it was time to look forward to the future between our two countries. The president addressed a theater full of Greeks and shared some fundamental truths about democracy, including the most important role we play, citizen.
Kindness for family and community and country, and a sense that we're all in this together with obligations to each other, because in the end, it is up to us. It's not somebody else's job, it's not somebody else's responsibility, but it's the citizens of our countries and the citizens of the world to bend that arc of history towards justice. And that's what democracy allows us to do.
Then it was off to Germany, one of America's closest allies on the world stage. There in Berlin on Thursday, the president sat down with Chancellor Angela Merkel, an important partner throughout his presidency, and now a good friend. Together, they took questions from the media about the future of the long-standing relationship between the United States and Germany. So, auf Wiedersehen for now. Tune in next week for more from the president's visit to Germany and a behind-the-scenes look at the last stop on his last foreign trip as president, Peru. And as always, to find out more information about any of these topics and see complete videos of these historic moments, visit whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out this edition of your West Wing Week.